Those in darkness fear the light, because the light will find them out. I saw all Israel scattered on the hills. This is what he said. Like sheep without a shepherd. And the Lord said, these people have no master. What if you were the king and God said, I see your people, they're on the hills, and they have no master? That means you're not their king. You're the enemy's king. You've been doing everything. Your wife is Jezebel, and you're not their master. He called them out, but that wasn't it. The Lord said, these people have no master. Let each one go home in peace. You know what's coming. The king Ahab said, didn't I tell you? He turned to Jehoshaphat in public just after he said, how many times? Now he said, didn't I tell you? He's going to come forth with an I told you so. Didn't I tell you that he never prophesies anything good about me, but only bad? Without answering him. What do you think Micaiah said when he said that? He knew that was coming. That's why he wasn't called in the first place. That's why he spoke these words of defeat. How many times must I tell you to speak the truth? He knew he was going to speak the truth.
That's right.
Didn't I tell you? Without answering him, he continues, therefore, when you see a therefore, you better put on your reading glasses, perk up, because you know something good's going to happen.
Find out what it's there for.
Therefore, who will entice Ahab? Who will entice Ahab? This is the word in 19 to 25. I want you to remember that phrase when we read this. 19 to 25. Who will entice Ahab? Micaiah continued, therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne with all the host of heaven standing around him on his right and on his left. And the Lord said, who will entice Ahab into attacking Ramoth Gilead and going to his death there? One suggested this and another that. Finally a spirit came forward, stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. By what means? Asked the Lord. I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. He said, you will succeed in enticing him, said the Lord. Go and do it. So now the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouths of all these prophets of yours, and the Lord's decreed disaster for you. Then Zedekiah, son of Kenaiah, went up and slapped Micaiah in the face. And it's interesting. What was he asking? Did he want to know why this was happening? No, it was his spirit. He said, which way did this spirit from the Lord go? From me to speak to you. And I was thinking, this lying spirit that told the Lord, I'm going to put a lying spirit in front of all his prophets. It actually came from this one. When he spoke the truth, it rose, everything in this man rose up that he slaps Micaiah. He slaps him and says, I've been missing something. It's going to come back. It's not here right now, but where'd that spirit go? I bet he felt pretty different for a little while. When that lying spirit went out of him and went and came back, he wondered. It was probably the first time that he wondered what was in me. But the spirit was back because the rage came out and he slaps Micaiah. He slaps and says, which way? He wanted to know. Micaiah replied, you will find out on the day that you go to hide in an inner room. That doesn't sound pretty. On the day you go to hide in an inner room. That's where I want that's where I want to start off. He wants to entice Ahab. I'm thinking, wasn't Jezebel doing a pretty good job of enticing him in the first place? Entice Ahab into attacking and going to his death there. Point number 2. Those in darkness think they can outwit or outthink or outdo those in the light. And they will try everything they can to outthink you, to outwit you, and outdo you. But you're in the light. They're trying to outthink the light. They're trying to outwit the light and outdo the light. But you can't, because the light reveals what's in the darkness. And what's in them comes forth. The spirit's attacking them. What spirit came forward? A lying spirit. He had just spoke how many times? And now this deceit, this lying spirit's back. Point number 3. Those in darkness have chosen their poison. He chose a lying spirit. He chose deceit. The reason the Lord said you will succeed is because of this point number 3. Those in darkness have chosen their poison. What's got them in trouble in the past will come back and bite them again. The poisons of your youth, unless you go a different direction, will come back over and over and over. You might be wondering, why? This mob that's coming against me, why is it coming against me? I'm telling you today, the same mob that rose up before is coming against you again. Today's the day to change. Amen. Today's the day for real change. So you can walk into the time where you can count on a bear or count on a random arrow to come on your behalf. Amen. Or you're going to be right back where you were. Amen. If you haven't changed, there is no bear coming on your behalf. That's right. If you haven't had real change, there is no blind arrow coming on your behalf. Wow. In fact, this blind arrow might be coming at you. In judgment at you, because the fire of God will come forth and it will either purify you or it will bring judgments. Amen. And this blind arrow, if you aren't careful, what you're trying to bring forth in retribution against others is coming to you because you haven't changed. You're bitter. You're bitter inside. You're deceitful inside. You're angry inside. There's all this rage and it's coming against you because you haven't had real change. Now's the day to change. If you felt this stuff coming against you, today's your night. Today's your day. Tonight's your night. Change so that this bitter poison that you've chosen doesn't cause the bears to come after you or the arrows to come after have chosen their poison. He chose a lying spirit. Not only did he choose a lying spirit, but he's not very good at picking women. He picked Jezebel. Jezebel was about as bad as they came. He wasn't done. Micaiah, he didn't stop. He just kept on going. He's speaking forth the word. Isn't this the man that said how much, please speak the truth? All this deceit. And Micaiah knew what he was going to do. He was going to speak forth the truth. He already told him when and where he would die. That's pretty plain and simple. But now Micaiah says, you're going to win. But your people have no master. You are going to die. And a lying spirit is among you. A lying spirit is among you, and every prophet of yours has this lying spirit. How many churches today need to hear this? How many pastors need to hear this? How many congregations need to hear this so that the spirit of witchcraft can be cast out of their church and they can go forth in righteousness and go forth in victory instead of going forth, walking out the doors and facing the mob again this week?